Never grade again.
Yes!
It's a bold title. It's kind of a lie. But what I am going to tell you is the story of how I made grading and feedback better, easier, and automatic. It's a story of technology, but really it's a story of students learning and relationships. Meet Miguel and Daniela, two of my students of 175 in an SAT review class. This class was diverse. We had students for different socioeconomic status, race, ability. High-stakes testing, meet Ossining High School. Now, students today, they just don't have the grammar skills the SAT requires. They need practice. They need time. Discussing Oxford commas, removing prepositional phrases, learning new vocabulary, this took time. They needed feedback. So we decided the only way to get this to happen was practice. You cannot move on to the next skill until you've mastered what we're learning right now. It didn't make any sense. So we would guide all students towards success, but they needed to practice and they needed to succeed. And sometimes this meant failure. This meant that students would retake and revise every single assignment until they succeeded. We would guide them towards success. How many of you guys have ever failed at something? Then you learn and you try again. Oh, look, I like it. They raise their hands. Yeah. Right? Why should school be any different? We fail forward. Miguel took 19 submissions on 4 quizzes to succeed. Daniela only 8. Each student got exactly what they needed to succeed. They learned at their own pace. But for me, it was hard. Right? How can I possibly manage the constant grading and revision, provide meaningful feedback, and differentiate instruction? With more and more revisions coming in, how is it possible? How can I reach Miguel, Daniela, and my 175 other students too? It's like something out of a nightmare that only teachers can understand. Right? It took too much time. They were learning, but I was falling behind. And instead of being able to use my time meaningfully to work with my students, I was using it for paperwork, for menial grading, for the stuff that just really didn't matter. I needed to make it better. Now, I have my 2 students, but what happens when I have the full roster? And we don't stop there. We take the 175 who submitted 1,854 quiz submissions throughout the year. Every single one needed grading and feedback. How in the world do I manage that and not go crazy? So we started with blended instruction. We created grammar video tutorials. Students practiced at home, came in and asked questions. We clarified, we reviewed. Then they practiced and assessed themselves. It worked pretty good, but it wasn't enough. They assessed themselves using Google Forms, and the problem here was we made SAT-style multiple choice questions, and the questions were good. But all it gave us was data of scores. Scores didn't help. Students need to know clearly communicated feedback about how to do better. What they need to do, how. That's where Autocrat came in. With Autocrat, we took the form results from the responses sheet and merged that data into a customized Google Doc that gave targeted, specific, appropriate feedback to each and every student, helped communicate their scores automatically. So it started with the Google form. Students took the quiz. Autocrat merged all the data for them, like you see here. Each student took the quiz an average of 2 to 3 times. Autocrat would merge the data, would create a customized certificate of success, and email that certificate to every single student on every form submission. The students were able to look at their certificates and know if they succeeded. And when they succeeded, they submitted to Google Classroom. They downloaded a PDF from their email, and I knew they were done. 1,854 submissions. I didn't grade a single one of them. Even better, now I knew who to help and how. These 30 students, they're the students that took each quiz at least 4 times, some of them 6 times. Now I knew who they were, how to help them, and exactly what they needed, and they succeeded too. Here's the data to prove it. The students took 2.25 average attempts per quiz. Most of them, 63%, succeeded in 1 or 2 tries. A handful of them, a good amount, needed 3 or 4 tries. Small percentage needed 5 or 6 until they got that certificate in their email. Technology can help teachers become more efficient and work better. Tools like Autocrat help us do so we can maximize our instructional time, make better use of our own time in and out of school, and spend it on what really matters, our students. And remember Miguel and Daniela? These guys here, they're graduating high school next week. They both succeeded. They succeeded on their SATs. They're going to college. Now, am I saying it's because of my SAT class and because of Autocrat? I'll let you guys be the judge. Maya Angelou said, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. I want to thank New Visions and Google for helping give me the tools to know better so I can do better for my students. Thank you.